Now what I'd like to do is create a macro or create the code that's to go with this user form. So back in my Excel file, I'm going to record a macro. On the Developers tab, ensure that you've got Use Relative References turned on. When I click this button, I can see there's an orange hue behind the button, which means this button is now on. If it wasn't, the orange hue would disappear. So I'll turn this button on. Then I need to start recording a macro. So I'll choose Record Macro. I'd like to call this macro Data Entry. And I'm going to store it in this workbook and not worry about a shortcut key. So I'll just click OK. First thing I want to record is hitting the drop down on the name box and choosing the cell called Start Cell. Then what I'd like to do is press Ctrl down arrow so I relatively drop to the bottom of the list. And then press the down arrow key one more time so I'm immediately below the list. I'll then just record typing the word date, pressing the right arrow, typing person, pressing the right arrow, typing title, pressing the right arrow, region, right arrow, and actual. And maybe right arrow. Then I'll record hitting the drop down again on the name box and going back to the start cell. And that's what I want my macro to do. So I'll stop recording using the stop recording button on the Developers tab. If I was to test my macro, I could go to the Macros button, choose my Data Entry macro and click Run, and that should add another record to my list. And I can run it several times just to ensure that the macro is actually adding code to the bottom of my list. When I know the code is running correctly, I'll actually delete these rows that I've created just testing the macro. So I'll delete rows 15, 16 and 17 just by right clicking and choosing the delete option, and then just click in a cell.